hold on to the truth and to hope.
Mr. President, is it true that independent media is now the mainstream? Could even I get a press pass? Hello there, you awakening wonders. Thank you for joining us today. Remember, our main show is Rumble, and if you're a member of Rumble Premium, it directly benefits me in ways that I don't even want to go into. Financially! So, I could become a legitimized White House press correspondent asking questions to the president. Is this an indication that independent media is the new mainstream? And if it is the new mainstream, is there a danger that it will become corrupted? Let's have a look together at the story that the Trump White House will be granting press passes to independent media journalists like me.
We also, again, encourage anybody in this country, whether you are a TikTok content creator, a blogger, a podcaster,
a mouse in a blender, a person wearing a onesie, whoever you are, whatever you want, come here and shout some questions. Do you remember when we were talking about all different people that could be press secretary and people were like, Alex Jones, who doesn't want new muscular Alex Jones in that pulpit? Not even posing the questions, responding to it.
If you are producing legitimate news content, no matter the medium, you will be allowed to apply for press credentials to this White House. And as I said earlier, our new media website is whitehouse.gov/new media. And so we encourage people to apply. Again, as long as you are creating news-related content of the day and you're a legitimate independent journalist, you're welcome to cover this White House.
Hello, I'm Russell Brand. I'm covering the news. Give us a pass, why don't you? That's the news that Karoline Leavitt is issuing press passes to independent media journalists like us. Let me know in the comments and chat if you see that as a death knell for legacy media. Who needs the BBC, the New York Post, and all those other organisations that lined up to lie to us during the pandemic period that will always advocate for and amplify the interests of the powerful, that appear to have been entirely captured by corporate and globalist interests? Is this the end for them? Let me know in the comments and chat what you think about that.
Miller.
Thanks, Caroline. A question that we've asked your predecessors of both parties in this job.
In a sense, the legacy media have created this problem for themselves. It is them, after all, that have discredited themselves and alienated themselves from their audience by lying for years, perhaps never more significantly than in the pandemic era, which is when many people who had previously been open to the idea that you could trust the BBC or CNN or MSNBC awoke to the idea that the media is corrupt. That in itself used to be a liberal left-wing perspective. Noam Chomsky is hardly a figure of the right, and it's him that coined the phrase the manufacture of dissent, that you cannot trust these institutions. But with them finally potentially losing their access to the powerful, is this the end for legacy media? Here, Karoline Leavitt explains that the mainstream media have no one to blame for themselves for their own lack of credibility.
Miller.
Thanks, Caroline. A question that we've asked your predecessors of both parties in this job. When you're up here in this briefing room speaking to the American public, do you view yourself and your role as speaking on, advocating on behalf of the president or providing the unvarnished truth that is, not to lie, not to obfuscate to the American people?
I commit to telling the truth from this podium every single day. I commit to speaking on behalf of the President of the United States. That is my job. And I will say it's very easy to speak truth from this podium when you have a president who is implementing policies that are wildly popular with the American people, and that's exactly what this administration is doing. It's correcting the lies and the wrongs of the past 4 years, many of the lies that have been told to your faces in this very briefing room. I will not do that. But since you brought up Truth Seek, I would like to point out, while I vow to provide the truth from this podium, we ask that all of you in this room hold yourselves to that same standard. We know for a fact there have been lies that have been pushed by many legacy media outlets in this country about this president, about his family, and we will not accept that. We will call you out when we feel that your reporting is wrong or there is misinformation about this White House. So yes, I will hold myself to the truth, and I expect everyone in this room to do the same.
And Caroline,
people that work for Trump love Trump. Is this a new era with Bobby Kennedy as the head of the health secretary, with Tulsi Gabbard significantly empowered over secret services, with the mainstream media running, collapsing, sometimes resigning live on air, like Jim Acosta from CNN in this resignation meltdown. Is this a new era?
It is never a good time to bow down to a tyrant.
There is, when a tyrant's standing in front of you. Get right down before that tyrant. Don't go standing up to them. They hate that, Jim, unless you're a person with genuine backbone who's not just sprouting a legacy media point.
I've always believed it's the job of the press to hold power to account. I've always tried to do that here at CNN.
Irony, really, is that in trying to hold power to account, I found myself working at CNN, a network funded and designed to prevent people ever awakening to deep truth. That's where I probably went wrong. I had this grand mission, and then I went and worked for a propaganda machine. I decided to support veganism, but in a crazy way, by taking this job here at McDonald's, where the slaughter of cows is fundamental to our business. I decided to start this church here, in a pornography store. Many of the members of the congregation are not behaving appropriately for church. When they kneel down, it's for the wrong reasons. When they go into a booth, it's for a wrong reason. And let me tell you, you do not want to smell the incense they're using.
And I plan on doing all of that in the future.
The future, where I'm live from now on CNN. I'm here, I'm in the future, it's me, Jim Acosta. Oh no, I've seen that in the future, legacy media is regarded as redundant because of all the lying we did during the pandemic, during war, continually. That ultimately our platforms exist simply to throw to adverts and advertisers. And don't you dare throw to one there, Massey. Here, in the future, it's been exposed to me that I bought myself down by lying for years. Whoa! How did that get there? Is that freedom straight out of my bowels and into your mouth? Don't dwell on that image. This is a delicious dark roast from 1775. It smells like freedom. Did you know that drinking 2 to 3 cups of coffee daily can reduce your risk of death by 29%? No! And halve your chances of heart complications? No! But what's the point if your coffee tastes like it was brewed by someone who thinks soy lattes are the pinnacle of human achievement? 1775 Coffee is here to reclaim coffee from the wokerati, if such a thing is a word or a term even. Hand-picked Bolivian beans. Don't be disgusting. That is not a euphemism for, flicking your old. Roasted in the USA, delivering pure single-origin brilliance without a hint of deceit. Sweet, truthful coffee. It's coffee for those seeking truth, depth, and the clarity to see through life's illusions, which is me and you. Come on, get on board. The best part? Every dollar you spend enters you to win a blacked out 2024 Tesla Cybertruck plus $30,000 of cash. Now, apparently I'm going to be driving around in this Cybertruck. I'll believe it when I actually see it. Because I'm always getting told things like, you're going to be driving around in a Cybertruck, and they never, ever appear. If this Cybertruck appears, that is going to be, you will see me drive it. I'm going to drive it in the water. I'm going to see if it works as Musk claims, as an amphibious vehicle that can also be launched into space. Let's test those claims. Head to 7075. Yes, a Cybertruck, a modern day Ark, ready to navigate the floods of uncertainty. Is this a metaphor? Was the Ark a metaphor? With the strength to carry you through any of life's trials. Head to 1775coffee.com, stock up and fuel your mornings with rebellion. Use this code for 15% off. Don't miss your chance to drive off in a Cybertruck and cash out with 30 grand. I mean, you could have a Cybertruck. We could all have Cybertrucks. Isn't that what we want? Coffee and Cybertrucks. Let's get back to the content.
One final message. Don't give in to the lies. Don't give in to the fear.
One final piece of grandiosity and saccharine bullshit before I depart. This means something. Me, what I'm doing, my life, my hair gel. It all means something. Look at the thing ticking across the bottom of the screen. It's all so important. I'm important.
Hold on to the truth and to hope. Even if you have to get out your phone, record that message. I will not give in to the lies. I will not give in to the fear.
Don't give in to lies. Don't give in to the... That's quite good on TikTok. I wonder if we can watch wonder if we can watch a bunch of fights on X or people wandering the streets with ejaculate on their face. What is this grandiosity amidst all this profanity? Where is Jim Acosta deriving the haughtiness that working for Legacy Media is important? Hello, I work for Legacy Media, and these proud buddies of mine, my nipplets of news, have been lactating truth into the minds and mouths of people for a generation now. Stop taking yourself so seriously, you propagandist, you.
Post it on your social media so people can hear from you too.
Write a newspaper yourself. Even if you're in a prison cell, you're a pedophile. You're a pedophile in a prison cell. Use your own blood to write yourself a truthful newspaper. And on page 1, the headline should be, Jim Acosta resigns. Pedophile. Actually, I don't want to be in your stinking papers, you pedophiles.
I'll have more to say about my plans in the coming days.
I've got plans, baby. You better believe it.
But until then, I want to thank all of you for tuning in. It has been an honor to be welcomed into your home for all these years.
Ugh.
That's the news. Reporting from Washington.
That's the news. Me. I'm news. I'm news now. I'm the actual news. So there. It's actually just expressing some personal vanity.
I'm Jim Acosta.
Donald Trump, though, well, good news. Jim Acosta, one of the worst and most dishonest reporters in journalistic history, major sleazebag, has been relegated by CNN fake news to the midnight hour Death Valley because of extraordinarily bad ratings and no talent. Word is he wants to quit, and that would look even better. Jim is a major loser who will fail no matter where he ends up. Good luck, Jim. What a heavy diss. Oh, Trump, man. That's a president that can handle a spat right there. Let's have a look at Jim Acosta, man of grandiosity's comp of extraordinary news hoaxes, and perhaps celebrate together the fact that now Legacy Media is losing its stranglehold on the throats and minds of a public that are deserting them, thankfully, in droves for media platforms like this one. And thanks for supporting us, and support us on Rumble Premium if you can. It directly benefits me if you get annual membership.
This is not Fox, Congressman. You can't just spin a tail and pull the wool over people's eyes.
Yeah.
This is CNN. This is the news. We are asking you to come on and tell the truth. It's an alarming choice for a man who has often struggled to unequivocally denounce white supremacists. You recall these moments.
But you also had people that were very fine people on both sides.
Those words have power.
Those words, taken out of context, have been used time and time again to portray Trump as a white supremacist. You'd probably know if someone was a white supremacist, they'd just tell you, I'm a white supremacist. They'd be proud of it. And if indeed white supremacy is something that people value, that would be a significant driver to the electorate. Of course, also it's possibly true that Trump isn't a white supremacist and that race oughtn't be used by either side to create division anymore, that we should be unifying as part of one family of Christ. Actually, this isn't the sort of thing I say.
They have meaning, and when Donald Trump speaks, the world listens. Neo-Nazis and white supremacists certainly listen. So why can't he denounce them? Why can't he reject their support?
And you had people, and I'm not talking about the neo-Nazis and the white nationalists, because they should be condemned totally.
Amazing.
What's your response to Donald Trump saying she should be fired, that Liz Cheney should be fired upon?
Fired upon. You should fire upon Liz Cheney. I remember that. What she said is, if the people that advocate aggressively for war should be willing to go to war themselves. Who in the world disagrees with that? That's a very liberal position. That's a spiritual position. If indeed, tragically, war is part of life, then war should be participated in with a degree of sobriety, somberness, seriousness. It should never be jingoistically advocated for by people that don't have skin and blood and bone in the game.
He keeps speaking in these very extreme terms about the potential dangers to the country if he doesn't win in November. He's used words like bloodbath.
Bloodbath, mouse milk, pig's winkles, all sorts of sounds are coming out of that man's mouth. Jim Acosta, in a sense, represents old media, and like old media, he is disappearing from the scene. And simultaneously, the White House is now granting press passes to independent media. So I guess the question is, how will independent media bear the mantle of truth passed on to us by Legacy Media? How increasingly we see political influence from independent media spaces entering not only mainstream politics, but culture more widely. Because If this MAGA Maha movement and moment means one thing, it's this. Government now is in the business of management and administration. Ideology is not the business of government. That is the business of the human heart. That is the business of the human spirit. That is the duty of each of us individually and collectively to create a new church and a new awakening and to change the world together. Independently, yes, but cohesively also. Jim Acosta, CNN, BBC, New York Times, they belong to yesteryear, along with their fallen and discarded lies. The truth belongs to you. The ultimate fact is this one. With our ability to instantaneously communicate now meaning that new alliances become possible, with a commitment to defend free speech, with a willingness to confront globalism, corporatism, commercialism, and endemic profanity in the offering, this is indeed a chance for global awakening. And the levers of politics and the power they control can perhaps be confined to matters of administration and management. Ideology, spirit, God, awakening, and the real power, the power that matters, is entirely in your hands now. But that's just what I think. Why don't you let me know what you think in the comments and chat? Shall I get one of those press passes? Shall I get there, start turning up in the Oval Office asking questions? Shall I see if I can team up with Jim Acosta? Hello there, this is me. I'm at the White House now. I'm asking the most important questions. I'm resigning now from doing this question. I'm resigning. Why don't you get in a car, jump on a pig's back, wherever you are in your prison cell, report the news to yourself. Just think of the news when you're going to sleep, but make sure it's mandated and sanctioned by centralized authority. That's what we do on CNN, and that's why things are falling apart for me. Hey, but that's just what I think, though. Why don't you let me know what you think in the comments and chat? Remember, get Rumble Premium. It helps me if you do that. And we do our show Monday to Thursday on Rumble, live and streaming, wild and screaming. See you there. And in the meantime, if you can, stay free.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you want to see more uncensored content where free speech can flourish, join our live stream. Click the link right here to watch the next video if you want to, or become a member of a growing movement. Download the Rumble app and you'll be informed every time we make a new piece of content. Stay free.